but I want you to know who I am as a person, and I think that's important, especially for the newer Toastmasters. So with your permission, I'd just like to start out by telling you a little bit about how I started in Toastmasters and why I do this and why I donate my time. Who has ever been in any leadership position? Just about everyone. Well, part of the reason I do this and I donate my time to Toastmasters is because what it did for me. And I know that you as leaders do not nearly get thanked enough for what you do. I was club president of my club for 4 years in a row, which, Madam International Director, I know is illegal. I am very aware, but I did it because my club would have died, because no one else would. I did it to make sure my personal club survived. But the reason, do you understand that you have the coolest district governor ever? She has made me, like, I don't want to say she's stalking me, but she takes care of everything, and I really think you need to know how hard the people in leadership work, that you get to come and just enjoy this conference, and you don't see the other work. And sometimes, even I get criticized for things, but I want you to know that I offer to Toastmasters whenever I come. If anybody invites me to a district conference, I not only donate my time and my weekend, but I offer to come a couple days early or a day early to go and do club visits or a special event. And be careful what you offer to Pam Christopher. I'd come in a day early. She got me to come in 3 days early. Oh my gosh. How do you say no to her? Exactly. So I gave in. They wanted me to speak at a leadership club. Where were we on?
Voices of Leadership.
Seems like a week ago. Voices of Leadership. Some members here, thank you very much for having me at your club. And we had a ball there. Oh my gosh. I thought I was at gospel. Amen, brother. Talk about interaction. They were great. And then we did a special event at the Wake Forest University that night that they opened it up to the public. And then 4:30 a.m. while you were sleeping, I got up and I did the morning show for, what was it? Channel WXII, the morning show. So 4:30 I get up. I am not a morning person. But you sent one, Dina. Dina's not here, is she? No. Oh my gosh. It's 4:30 in the morning. How you doing? You ready? She's sleeping. That's funny. Now, she took me the wrong way down a one-way street, but I don't want to focus on that. But we had fun, and I plugged Toastmasters. I did my best. I had a ball on the show with the anchor ladies. Oh my gosh, they'll never forget me. And I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying they'll never forget me. And then we went to a brand new club today, the VIPs. The 4 of them are here. What is the proper name?
VIPs.
Thank you. Visionaries in public speaking. And it's a brand new club that chartered in a week. And they're visually impaired. First Toastmaster club I ever spoke to a guide dog. But anyway, I offered to Pam and she kept me busy, and that's what I like to do because I love to tell my story and share my story. But part of it is because of what Toastmasters did for me. And I really appreciate leadership for many reasons, because there are people in your club who never ever get encouragement at home. And you could be the only place they get encouragement. I'll always remember, if you were sitting there in a photocopy room with me, photocopying the agenda, just before my Toastmaster meeting in 1994, you would have heard my club president, Dan. Dan pulled me aside. He said, "Darren, do you realize what you have to give?" Like, give? I'm not here to give. I'm here to get stage time. I'm here to give. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, Darren, you're studying to be a comedian. Okay, I was only doing amateur nights. I found Toastmasters as a place to make mistakes. So that's why I came to Toastmasters. And he was saying, why don't you give a speech on how to add humor to speeches? And I was thinking, people would want to hear that? See, I didn't know. I was coming from my world. And I thought, okay, so, all right, if that's what you think I should do, I'll be happy to. But I really don't, haven't perfected it yet. And, all right, I did the speech. Now, you got to understand the world I came from, the stand-up comedy world, that if you're not laughing, I'm dying. And everybody knows. It's different giving a speech. They could be thinking and it's okay, but if they're not laughing, you're dying. So here I am, giving my presentation, and people are taking notes. I thought, how rude. I'm talking here. Turns out it was a good thing. But what he pointed out is, one of my favorite quotes is by a marketing genius named Dan Kennedy, and he said, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And I say that to all of you because I travel all over the world, and I meet a lot of people at Toastmasters who might be financial planners, might be mortgage consultants, and yet they've never ever spoken on the thing they know the most about. And that's sad. And I was in the same place. Please look at people in your club. What do they do for a living? Have them do a speech on that. You take for granted your value. And as speakers, our value is giving our perspective of our life experience, not stealing a story out of Chicken Soup for the Soul. It's not what Toastmasters is about. Well, in fact, Dan took it one step farther. It went farther or further. What would David Brooks say? Is it? Further. But he took it another step, and there's also a way to simplify it, get down to Darren terms. But he invited me to do a breakout session at my own district conference, District 31, Massachusetts. So I took him up with the offer, but I did not have the confidence to do it myself. So I actually invited another comedian / Toastmaster to join me because I didn't think I could do it myself. And my friend Gary started off the presentation. He was to do the first half, I was to do the second half. And in the middle of his presentation, he literally froze. And I'm standing in the back thinking, man, someone should do something. And ladies and gentlemen, that is when I changed as a speaker. When I stopped worrying about what will they think of me, and I started worrying about what will they leave with. When you can make that switch in your head, you will instantly become a better speaker. It's okay to have that anxiety, but focus it on what's good for the audience. Stop worrying about you. It is not about you. It's not about you. So, at the end of the presentation, this woman, Bethany Goldcrow, I'll always remember, walks up to me and she says, Darren, she says, I work with the New England Recruiters Association. I'm a member, and I'm in the conference committee. I would like to invite you to speak at our conference coming up. How much do you charge? Charge? I didn't know which way the money was going. I didn't know. I really didn't. And at that time in comedy, I was getting $50 a set, $50 a set. And that was like huge, huge. But I just started hearing in the corporate world, they pay a lot more. Yeah. A lot more. A lot more. So I'm calculating in my head as fast as I can. In these few seconds after she asked me, I'm calculating. I looked her dead in the eye and I said,